Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Generally, we treat failures as stepping stone to success. It never become an enemy of success. People have different opinions regarding failure. Some people, those who are broad-minded, they can accept failure is root cause for upcoming success. The weak-minded think failure is cause of his ruining his life. Some people cannot digest the failure because they expect a lot from success. Success may not come always. Failure also similarly. How we are accepting the success, similarly we have to accept the failure also. But they should require of broad understanding, broad mind, broad thinking. Is it not? But some weak-minded people, weak-hearted people used to commit suicide when they get failed in their life. Some people, strong-minded persons, they build strong determination even after getting the failure. So it will be a lot of differences between them. Whatever it may be, today I took the topic of failure is not enemy of success. Let us go in detail after prayer. Agajanana Padmarkam Gajanana Maharnisham Anekadam Tam Bhaktanam Ekadantam Upasmahe. Some people ask, when we try to improve ourselves, if we fail repeatedly, how can we avoid becoming discouraged? By conceptualizing failure, instead of seeing it as an opposite of success, we can see it as a precursor to success. Failure and success don't always lie in opposite directions. Frequently, success avoids us further down the same road on which failure has met us. If we just don't let failure stop us. Consider, for example, how children learn to walk. They fall, get up, walk a few steps, fall again, and go through this cycle repeatedly till they gradually start walking steadily and eventually start running smoothly. While learning a universal human activity such as walking, we understand intuitively that failure is the precursor to success. Thankfully, the same principle applies to our inner life. All the more so when we try to spiritualize our consciousness by regulating worldly indulgences. As we may not always have the abilities to develop specific external skills in those areas, failure may not always lead to success. However, as we are inherently spiritual beings, we all have the potential to spiritualize our consciousness, provided we preserve. Such perseverance becomes easier when we draw strength from our connection with our Lord, who stays unfailingly by our side no matter how many times we fail. Pertinently, the Bhagavad Gita says, Yaya swapnam bhayam shokam विषादं मदमेव च न विमुञ्चति दुर्मेधा धृतिः सा पाततामसी. Cautions that when we hold on negative emotions such as lamentation and moroseness, moroseness, we exhibit self-defeating determination. Whereas determination helps us hold on to something good. Its self-sabotaging version impels us to hold on to things that hurt us. Seeing failure as the enemy of success is a result of such self-sabotaging determination. By reconceptualizing failure as an entry to success, we can persevere till we feel our way to success. When Rama is told that he is to be crowned king, he quietly agrees to act according to his father's wish. When it turns out that he is to go to the forest, as per the boon granted by Dasharatha to Kaikeyi, Rama willingly submits to his father's will. He is neither elated at the prospect of becoming king, nor is he saddened by the thought of spending 14 years in exile in the forest, separated from his family. He has no plans of taking Sita or Lakshmana with him. It is only because of their insistence that he agrees to let them come along with him. So Rama treats both joy and sorrow alike, showing us that we must not respond emotionally to what happens in our lives. Lord Krishna advises Arjuna about what is his attitude should be to events in his life. Krishna says, Sukha dukkhe same krutva labha labho jaya jayo. Treat success and failure, profit and loss, happy occurrences and unhappy ones just the same. And that is what Rama demonstrates through his responses to his father's orders and Kaikeyi's wishes. Think of a stick that is carried along by river water. If the current is swift, the stick moves fast. If the water moves slowly, so does the stick. The stick has no control over its movement. We should be like the stick. It may be argued that the stick is inanimate, while we are not. But the message which we should take from the example is that we have to accept the inevitable. The Pandavas want their share of the kingdom, but Duryodhana denies them this. They are prepared to settle even for much less, but Duryodhana is not prepared to give them anything. And war is thus thrust on them. Lord Krishna advises Arjuna to do his duty without worrying about the results. Hato va prapsyase swargam jitva va bhokshase mahim tasmad uttishta kaunteya yuddhaya krita nishchayah. If you fight, you will either be slain on the battlefield and go to the celestial abodes, or you will gain victory and enjoy the kingdom on earth. Therefore, arise with determination, O son of Kunti, and be prepared to fight. Our happiness in life is suspended between the highs of success and lows of failure, the heights of gain and the misery of loss. At work, failure is almost a swear word, with most managers and leaders being scared of it and wanting to avoid it at all costs. My favorite interview question for managerial position has been to ask about people's failure and their learnings from it. More often than not, candidates shy away from speaking about it or share same inane failure. Even the inability to get a promotion to an intra-grade is considered a terrible failure. These two verses beautifully bring out the need to deal with the highs and lows of life with equal ease. In reality, there is no such thing as failure. Either you succeed or you learn to succeed later. Every failure, every loss is a learning and opportunity. Giving up is the true sin. Life is one big adventure, and most of us just stand near the edge and with our backs to it and refuse to take the plunge. We also expect to see an unchanging landscape. How terribly boring. Actually, Lord Krishna is also explaining about sin and gaining good karma. Taking responsibility for one's life, living up to one's potential, and the extending the envelope of experience is the way to learn good karma. Just sitting by the sidelines, doing nothing, refusing to take any responsibility and expecting that riches pour on you is a sure short way to incur sin, because life is an opportunity to learn. Accept failure and success. Enjoy moments of success and learn when you suffer a setback, and teach your children that success and failure are two sides of the same coin. Watching this topic at Bodh Gaya, a few hundred meters from where Prince Siddhartha Gautama became the Buddha, may his list spread far and wide through timeless lessons of Bhagavad Gita. There are many reasons to read and love Bhagavad Gita, one of which is its simple matter of fact, explanation of concepts, very clinical and very efficient. No scope for confusion whatsoever. Often though, shlokas and their meanings get lost in the translation. Take this one of the most popular verses from Gita. Karmanyevadikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phalahetur bhuh ma te sangosa karmani. We have adhikara or right over our action, but 10 right or control over its results. Let not the potential result be the motive of action, and do not get attached to inaction either. Often the sloka is interpreted as karma karo phalki apesha mat karo. Do not expect results. This leads many to ask, if I have no expectations, what is the motivation to act? A fair question indeed, but Krishna does not say don't expect. Rather, he says we cannot know for certain. If we really know for certain, then we can win or lose, whether the talk is done. So what determines the eventual result? Arjuna wants to know, and Krishna explains in the 18th Adhyaya. Panchaitani mahabaho karanani nibodhame shankye kritante proktani siddhaye sarvakarmanam adishtanam tatha karta karanam cha prutagvidham vividascha prutavvacha daivam jaivatra panchamam. Arjuna, listen from me. As explained in Sankhya, 5 factors determine the accomplishment of tasks. The doer, karta, the instruments being used, karanam, guiding principles and boundary condition, adhishthanam, activities or efforts and sanga, chesta, and the 5th is daivam, mean grace, fortune or luck. Among these 3 are considered the primary one. In this shloka, Lord Krishna explained project management. If defines project management as a practice of initiating, planning, executing, controlling and closing the work of team to achieve specific goals and meet specific success in stipulated time. And what does a project can look like? Let us see in detail. Activities to be done, chesta. Resources needed, karanam. Activity owner, karta. Guiding principles, location. Timeliness, quality index, etc. adhishthanam. Project managing is about planning, managing, controlling these 4 factors for proper execution in order to achieve the stated goal. But are these sufficient to ensure success? Do tasks always work out as per plan? Unfortunately, not. Hence, every smart project manager, without exception, builds in a risk factor into the project plan a risk factor for unforeseen circumstances. We call it risk factor. Krishna called it Daivam, the 5th factor of task accomplishment. This Daivam is what one may choose to call God or Prakriti or destiny or fortune, or when an atheist may call randomness. A professor I know beautifully explained Daivam as that what mathematics call probability. However well prepared we are, the risk factor cannot be wished away. So be it, says Krishna, it is Panchamam Daivam. This uncertainty is only the 5th factor which can come into play only and only if the other 4 factors are in order. And the uncertainty need not always be a hindrance. It could also work in your favor. But Daivam can only attempt to help those who get up and put their shoulders to the wheel. Not otherwise. Dharma is not fatalistic, nor is destiny. Hence, those who say, I have no control over results, it is all destiny anyway. Why do anything at all? Hard, overhead, need to do anything at all. Understand that destiny is like the water in the tap. You can quench your thirsty only when you get up on the sofa and open the tap. Getting up and opening the tap is your common karma. Possibly there may be or may not be water in the tap. You may be required to do some water from any tank. You may be required to do some more karma, like getting the pipes of the tank clean, getting the municipal authorities to deepen the lakes and such other. Daivam follows karma. Fortune follows the action. But there is an additional issue to be understood here. What is success and what is failure? In what frame of response can we definitely say this is a failure and this is a success? Being thrown out of Apple, a company he founded, was familiar for Steve Jobs at that point in time. But had that not happened, picture would not have been, neither would have the eventual resounding success of April followed. The object loss of Pandavas in the game of dice, the ensuing Vanavasa was a victory for Duryodhana. But it was this victory that paved way for the annihilation of unjust Duryodhana and his exile. If examples such as these abound, only proves that success and failures too have shelf life. Hence Krishna says, do not worry too much. Success and failure, do not what you must do and give it your best. Become a karma yogi. Achieve excellence yoga. Indeed is excellence in action. And after you have given your best, whatever be the result, accept it and move on. What matters in the worshipness of you fight and how well you fought. That is in your hands. As humanity is going through a phase, everyone is looking for solace not only on financial matters but also about peace of mind. Why life is so relentless and purpose of life. This tough phase taking a toll on physical as well as mental health. The whole world is now looking at India's spiritual wisdom. We as Indians generally don't give much importance to our ancient knowledge, which Western countries and many other countries are putting efforts to get in depth insights and imbibing the great knowledge which our ancient sages rendered easily. The world needs to turn towards real knowledge given by God. Krishna to Arjuna in Gita. Resolutions to all kinds of problems encountered by each individual, rich or poor, big or small, elderly or adolescent, from any background, gender, caste, creed, religion, or color are included in the Gita. We can simply treat it as management guru. Bhagavad Gita is broadly divided into the three segments: knowledge, action, and love. Gita shows the path to the lost, answer to the baffled, and wisdom to all. When Arjuna lost his confidence and mind shattered, that time Lord Krishna offered him knowledge about the transient and eternal presence of our soul and how to keep the mind steady, even in adverse conditions, to uplift dharma, righteous path, with right actions and see whatever is happening with larger dimensions. Mind and its associated dimensions are the main cause of never-ending sufferings in our lives. Even in good times, we are not happy in true sense, ultimately leading to many problems on physical, mental, and social level. The simple reason behind all these issues, we have never been taught about these dimensions in our school life, or college life. It is at most important to give this type of precious knowledge from Gita from our schooling days. Gita from our schooling days gives a sort of courage, confidence. Once the child learns to calm his or her mind, obviously he or she will achieve any goal with joy and peace of mind. Then we can call it as a real success. Lord Krishna gave prominence on yogic practices, mainly meditation. Meditation practiced over a time of period to the brings clarity in mind about our potentials, eliminates stress, cleanses memory from unwanted stuff and our connection with Almighty. Lord Krishna said, while performing various actions, do it as an act of God and don't think continuously about the result so that the actions will be more profound and effectively performed. Whatever until we have to wait for the result so that the action will be more profound and effectively performed. Whatever will be the result of your actions, accept it graciously. You will have your fruit at the right time. We are witnessing in today's world, especially with youngsters, every action is seen with the glass of success or failure, ultimately leading to losing hope, depression, aggression, disturbed mind, creating a negative environment for everyone. Read Gita to know how to perform actions with peace of mind and joyful manner so that we progress gradually on material as well as spiritual life. Lord Krishna said, good is supreme and omnipresent. During adverse situations, your near and dear ones may leave you. However, I will be always with you. My love is unconditional. So perform every action as my action with love. You came empty handed and will go empty handed so that satisfy your ego and for sensual pleasures don't perform any quit evil acts. If we see with awareness, God always helped us whenever we are in dire need of it. So have faith in good and bad. Move ahead in life with confidence and gratitude that Almighty is showing love on us. Generally, a problem looks big and insurmountable when you do not have a solution. The moment you have the solution, the problems disappear. Bhagavad Gita provides that answer to our life's problems. Running away from the problem does not solve it. It only come back and haunt the fact of ferocity. If you refuse to see the elephant in the room, it does not disappear. We have to face it with courage and conviction, as running away is cowardice. Gita concludes with this verse delivering a deep pronouncement. Dhritarashtra was hopeful that his children abandoned would win the war, considering the strength of the army and the capabilities of their generals led by Bhishma, Drona, Karna, etc. However, his minister Sanjay informs that material calculations of the relative strengths and number of the two enemies or armies are irrelevant, as victory will always be on the side of God and His pure devotee, and so will goodness, supremacy, and abundance be. Employees of today may have higher qualifications or ambition, but do they have the same ability and impotence of Arjuna to be successful under different circumstances? Regardless of how much time and effort we put into any action, knowledge or qualifications we have, one cannot be assured of success. Success depends on a multitude of factors, but it boils down to two things: a self effort and Gauri's grace. If any respect is missing, success cannot be achievement. It means that you work with a total dedication, put all efforts in your work, focus in your duties and responsibilities, the surrender yourself to God with the total faith and devotion, when victory, fortune, power, and virtue will definitely yours. श्रीकांताय कल्याण निधे निधनाथ वेंकटनिवासाय श्रीनिवासाय मंगलम मंगलाश्वासन परिमुदाचार्य पुरोगमे सर्वैश्च पूर्वैराचार्य सत्कृतायास्तु मंगलम्.